All right, welcome back to the Breaker Bros. So tonight we're gonna predict the Bengals 2023 record. So I'm not sure if there's anything you want to start with, or if we should just get into the prediction.
Well, I mean, I think you're going to predict it, and you're pretty good at this. So, I mean, 2 years ago you got it right, numbers wise, not each
Yeah.
game. And then last year it wasn't too bad, I don't think. But somebody can check the stream from last year to see if you got it right or not. But I feel like
No,
you
they
got
should
it pretty
definitely
close.
fact check this.
Fact checks.
We need it. All right.
So,
Cleveland, and it's a away game. I feel like
mhm.
we should get a home game. I don't know why I feel that way, but I guess we did start out last
You're
year.
a Reds
at home.
fan?
That's true. But do we always get a home game? The first Reds game?
It used to be like that. Baseball hates tradition, so they took that away from the Reds.
Well, because it used to be we always got the first game of the year plus home, and then I think they switched it to where we just got the first home game, but I'm not sure if they still did that.
Yeah, the Reds used to get the first game of the season, but they took all that away.
Yeah.
And like the Reds aren't even guaranteed to. Maybe they do play at home, because I feel like they still do.
Yeah, because
it's been a while since I've tried to get opening day tickets.
It's still a pretty big deal in the city, I feel like, because they do the parade. I feel like always, but nonetheless, we're in Cleveland, and I always feel weird about early in the year, just because it seems like we have slow starts, especially in the Joe Burrow era, and especially last year, it kind of took us by surprise because we started 0-2, and it was like the end of the world.
I remember that,
but I don't know. It feels different this year, and we kind of talked about it, about the Super Bowl hype and like the confidence. I kind of feel like I felt last year, where it did feel like our offensive line improved, and that to me it seems to be the biggest catalyst about our success, because if we can protect Joe Burrow, then he's going to make the plays, right? So it's like, that's the most important thing for us, is just to keep him up, and it's been proven that if we can do that, we play very well. So, but I'm also worried about Cleveland, because Cleveland has a really good pass rush, and they actually improved from last year, because obviously they have Jason Garrett. Or wait,
Myles Garrett.
Oh my gosh! Holy crap!
Yeah.
I deserve to be slandered. Oh my gosh! No, I'm so sorry, Myles. That was a bad. I'm so sorry. I'm just bad with names. That's all it is. But Myles, I'm trying to give you props. Like, you're really good. And then they improved because they got the dude from the Vikings. I can't think of his name, but I know he was better than Clowney.
Is it Jerry Jones? Maybe.
Probably, yeah, Jerry Jones. No, it's no, but to me, their pass rush definitely got better, but then I also feel like our offensive line got better. And I know, like I said, I felt like that last year, and we were kind of like, whoa, what happened when we lost? But I do feel like, because our offensive line has evolved over like the last 4 years for sure, and it's just like we got a little bit better every year.
So what stage are they? And then Cro-Magnon man? Are they like starting to walk up right now?
Yeah, exactly. We're right before it like starts to really blossom, like I feel like Orlando Brown Jr. really is going to fit in with what, because that's the thing about Patrick Mahomes, is that like he tends to not drop back as far, and I think Joe Burrow has like a really good ability to like manipulate the pocket. Like I think that's one thing that also gets like underrated about Joe Burrow, is like how well he just feels it too. It's like, if you ever watch his highlights, like anytime he senses like someone closing in, he just naturally moves away, or he'll naturally. I mean, he's not 100% perfect, because obviously balls still get batted down, and
sometimes he holds the ball a little too long,
right?
And drops back too far.
But yeah. But nonetheless, I guess back to the prediction. I don't know. I feel like this is a different year. I feel like this is kind of like the year where there was a Marvis Lewis season where like we started like 7-0 or something like that, and I feel like we know how important it is just to get that that great start, especially if somehow the Chiefs lose in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if it does, it's just like that's more of an incentive for us to want to win because getting that number 1 seed in the playoffs is going to be huge. But nonetheless, there is going to be a very big focus on just starting out hot because if we do that, we're going to put ourselves in a position to get out and get that number 1 seed. So I think we're going to win. I think. Can you have a statement game in the first week? I don't know if you can have. I don't want to say it's going to be a statement game, but I want it to feel like that, you know?
Okay. Statement of a win.
Well, just that they're going to back it up.
I like that. I like that. I think they're ready. Put us down for a W.
Okay, Baltimore, and that's at home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
How can you tell? Oh, versus. Gotcha.
Well, I think black is at home and the red's away. Oh, and then it says that, yeah. Or versus. But yeah, no. That one, I feel is tricky because it's like Baltimore loaded up this offseason. They spent so much money, brought a lot of people in.
Name 2.
What do you mean? They brought in. They brought in. I feel like they brought in a lot of people. Hold on. They re-signed Lamar Jackson, which was a big deal because at one point it didn't seem like he was going back.
There last year.
I know, but they got Odell Beckham Jr.
What?
You don't the Ravens? You didn't know that they got Odell Beckham?
No, that's me saying who cares.
Oh, okay. I got you. I don't know. It felt like to me that they spent a lot of money to bring people in, and I feel like I know I'm missing a few other people, but it just
come on, man. Same old Ravens.
Yeah, but the Ravens are pretty good. It's just they kind of fall apart towards the end of the season. I mean, that's
right.
With any
I'm
team.
I'm just saying that they didn't. To me, they didn't change much at all. It's just like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic.
I guess, but hold on. Let me see if I can look it up real quick because I want to see the receivers. I feel like I'm missing someone else.
Well, they drafted a guy, right?
Yeah. Okay, they drafted. Okay, so in my head, okay, I see where I'm getting it. They used a lot of capital to get offensive
drafted
pieces.
Like Hollywood Brown 2.0.
Yeah, but still, that's that was a thing that they hardly ever do. Is like, how many first-round receivers have Lamar Jackson had?
Well, Rashad Bateman still on the team.
Yeah, I guess it's true, but
it's the same team. Hollywood Brown was a first-round pick too. It's like the same guy. He's just a rookie now instead of being a fifth-year player.
Yeah, but it's gonna be early in the
it's
season.
Like the same. They're rolling out the same team. It's like Odell Beckham is Sammy Watkins 2.0. It's just like the same team from a few years ago.
I guess I can see that, but
I mean, it's just Lamar Jackson just announced he's going to throw for like 8,000 yards this year. But other than that, it's like the same stuff.
So you still think? So you feel pretty confident against Baltimore?
I mean, as confident as I ever feel about Baltimore. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying that it's like what they always are. They're always good. Okay. You know, but I don't think they got like way better or way worse. I think it's like, they're still like a dangerous team that's probably going to make the playoffs,
Okay. But I still think, I sense that we're going to have a strong start. And I feel like this is going to be probably more of a back and forth game than the Cleveland game. So I'm going to give us a win on that one. Just
another win. 2-0. Way better than the last year's start. All right.
We turned it around. So this is the Rams. I don't know. Are we sleeping on the Rams?
The players on that team suck.
The Rams? Is that for the Rams?
They suck.
The players on that team suck.
Yeah.
But I don't want to overlook them, because that could be the gotcha game, like the upset. So,
do you think a Monday night game at home?
Well, that's the thing.
Be ready for that game?
I think that's why they're going to go all out. It's a Monday night game. Burrow
Yeah,
loves. And the
but
team, like we
remember,
actually have a team that
They suck.
The players on that team suck.
Yeah, but our team, like, I feel like we thrive under the primetime lights now. I think they won it. It's like a different culture than what we're used to. So, plus it's gonna be like the all white Bengal
like
uniforms. The
yeah,
whiteout.
exactly. The Rams are going to get destroyed in this game. I don't know why you even wasting time talking about it. Right? All right. Week 4.
Titans.
Right? I mean, you agree, right? They're going to win.
Well, my message is I just don't want us to sleep on them too much. You know, like obviously it's the NFL and anything can happen, but no, I mean, if any, it's gonna be one of those games where I'm gonna feel pretty confident on it. But but at the same time, like they still have Aaron Donald. You know, like that could be a problem. So you just never know. But overall,
They have Aaron Donald. They have Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, and that's it.
Cup.
He's hurt.
Yeah, but he might be back by then.
By week 3, he's like traveling the country looking for like leg specialists.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't.
That's not like a guy that's like, oh, I got 2 weeks, I'm gonna be back. That's a guy that's like hurting, right?
I don't know. I haven't really looked into it.
I mean, do they have doctors in California? I mean, I assume that they have doctors in LA. I mean, you're not gonna be looking for doctors unless you're really hurt. That's my assumption.
Yeah, no, he could be back though, because he's not officially on the pup, but it's looking that way. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Overall, I'm not too worried about it, but you just never know.
Okay, let me rephrase it then. Cooper Kupp is still a good player, but he appears to be quite hurt. And even if he does come back,
they suck.
The players on that team suck.
Titans.
Yes.
It's at Tennessee, which
yeah. Every game they play against Tennessee seems to be in Tennessee, right?
Wait, who's
Last
their?
2 were there.
Is it still Tannehill? Tannehill, is he still the starter?
Tannehill, yeah. They keep drafting his replacement, and
that's what I'm thinking.
They
like,
suck.
The players on that team suck.
You need to slow down on that soundbite. Holy crap!
I gotta wreck it.
You already used it like 10 times, bro.
Well, we're talking about teams that suck. I don't know what else to do. No, but I mean, they keep drafting guys. And the guys that they draft aren't good enough to replace Tannehill, who they clearly want to replace, right?
Yeah, but didn't they use a like first round? No, I guess it was a 3rd round pick. No,
3rd round pick last year on Malik Willis, 2nd round pick this year on
that's crazy.
You know, mayonnaise face.
Well, the guy from Kentucky.
Yeah, Will Levis. He likes mayonnaise in his coffee.
I guess where I'm getting at is he could be starting at that point. If things start really slow, they may try to push a younger quarterback in. But I don't know. It's another one of those games.
Yeah, I mean, I think
like
he was hurt in the preseason, so who knows? I mean, I think Will Levis was hurt.
Okay, not Tannehill.
Well, I don't even know if he's the backup, right? It might be Willis might be officially the backup. I haven't looked at their depth chart because it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like we pretty much established, well, I guess dominance against Tennessee. I just can't remember them losing against Tennessee with Joe Burrow. So I feel pretty confident we're going to get a win, even at Tennessee.
Okay.
And then I guess Arizona, with everything that's going on with them, it seems like they're trying to tank. So
yeah, they do seem to be quite like they're tanking. It's like they got the worst. I mean, yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, even their coach is getting ripped for being uninspiring. I mean, they cut all their backup quarterbacks, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but it all seems like they're trying to tank.
Mm-hmm.
Or I've just seen, I wouldn't say reports, but speculation. I've seen a lot of comments surrounding that, but I feel that's like another one where I feel pretty confident about. It almost feels like Tennessee, where we'll go in and establish dominance and come out with a victory.
Okay. So
Seattle
5-0.
Strong start. I like it. Or I feel pretty confident about it. And then as far as Seattle, I feel like that's a tricky team because like they had a lot of promise last year. I think they made the playoffs. I think they have like they're kind of riding the momentum. But it's one of those things where like, are they for real type deal? So like, it's hard to say because it's still going to be early in the season, but that seems like another team where we should just have a leg above, or we should just play better than them. I feel like so. Like, I can see us winning against that one, or against them as well.
Okay. So it's another win.
Yeah, I don't think they're a bad team by any means because I feel like their defense is kind of coming back around, and I kind of like the story with their quarterback Geno Smith coming in, and I think that's kind of cool because like like he did really well last year, and he was able to sign his get that contract extension, and he might be their quarterback for the next couple of years, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to beat us. But I do think it's a pretty cool story. But
yeah, I'm not high on Seattle.
Because another thing is just that like I feel like a lot of these teams are not going to be like above what we're used to in our own division, and that's a good thing. That if you can get out of a really strong division, is that you should be able to handle teams like this. But I still think there will be like a playoff contending team, especially in the NFC. But I just don't think they're going to be able to match everything that we have for sure. And then San Francisco, that one's gonna be tough. That's a Sunday. Is that Sunday night, or is it just a Sunday?
4:25.
Okay, it's okay.
So it's noon game out there.
This one's gonna be interesting because it's like San Francisco is pretty much loaded. I think their biggest question mark to me is gonna be their quarterback.
Well, is that important?
Very important. Yes, it will be. Like, I think it's pretty much proven that you, especially in today's NFL, like you need that dynamic quarterback. Everything else.
Do they have a good quarterback on their roster?
He is like, to me, like the Andy Dalton of quarterbacks.
Who's he?
Brock Purdy.
Okay.
Like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all because I think Andy Dalton's a above average quarterback, but I don't think he's that quarterback that's gonna like get you to the promised land right now. You know what I mean? Like it's just, and to me, it's like it's not a knock. It's just like you have to have that thing in you, So like, I know there's like, I think there's speculation. Yeah, if he would have been healthy last year, then they probably could have made the Super Bowl. But I also think like, yeah, but the cat's out of the bag. Like NFL defenses had all offseason to study like this Purdy's tendencies and stuff like that. Like they're gonna figure it out. Plus they're gonna have all this year to figure things out. So about the time you get into the playoffs this year, it's gonna be a whole nother story. But I do think it's gonna be a tough game nonetheless because they have a really stacked defense, I feel like. So, but because we just have, to me, a much better quarterback. I feel like we're gonna win that. It's gonna be a tough game, but I feel like we're gonna win.
Okay, week 9. Now that's
Buffalo.
a Sunday night game.
Okay.
Home against Buffalo, Sunday night.
That one's tough. I feel like that's because like Buffalo's gonna come out swinging, and they're really gonna want this win. Especially like the way we kind of came into their home and just basically dominated. So like I feel like they're gonna want to come back and I guess get the revenge. But then again, like
I mean, isn't that like too far into the middle of the season for that stuff to matter much?
No, because I think Josh Allen's very competitive. I think Joe Burrow is very competitive. I think Patrick Mahomes is very competitive, and I think that's why it matters. Because like at the end of the day, I think they're like, oh yeah, we're cool with each other, but they still want to be like head to head. Like that
Yeah, but
matters.
it's like the middle of the season.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
it's still your overall record against an individual. So it's like
Yeah,
you go
I
in
just
and
feel like the middle of the season, it doesn't matter as much at the
it,
beginning
it
and the end.
does. It matters even more than week 1, 2, or 3 or 4. Like that week 9, like the playoff picture is starting to shape up,
Mhm,
especially against Buffalo. Like it's a very important game. Like
mhm.
say if we lose to San Francisco, it's not the same as losing to Buffalo. Like not to say
Well,
that I
yeah,
want to lose to San
right.
Francisco, but we want to have that leg up against Buffalo, so it's going to be that
Well, I'm
much
not
more.
saying that they don't wanna win, I'm just saying that, like, I don't think that, like, what happened in the playoffs the previous season, it matters a ton
No,
week 9.
like I said, it matters in the sense that like if you're a competitive person, which I think most people in the NFL at this stage of their life is very competitive.
Mhm,
I think it matters that head-to-head record. Like Joe Burrow goes in and beats Josh Allen head-to-head one time in the playoffs and then one time in the regular season. It has that
mhm,
same effect of like when Joe Burrow had a 3-0 record against Patrick Mahomes.
mhm.
Like, because one thing you can count Super Bowls, right? But one thing is very, I wouldn't say definitive, but very strong in argument as far as like who's better is like head-to-head matchups, you know? So like
I don't know, man. I mean, I get what you're saying. Personally, I don't put much into head to head. I don't think it matters because I mean, it's the teams are different, you know?
I don't know, this one's tough. Like I want to say we're gonna win,
Mhm.
but I feel like this could be like one of those weeks where, and same thing even with San Francisco, because like the more I think about it, since that's a away game,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the win. I'm gonna go with the win
Okay. All right.
because I think our team's very competitive,
Mhm.
and that head-to-head stuff means something to them because it's like we beat you head-to-head, like you hold that over to like another opponent. Houston,
Mhm.
that's a home game.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's another game where we should just come in and dominate,
Mhm.
and especially against a rookie quarterback. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident in giving us a win in that week.
Yeah, Houston might be competing with Arizona to tank.
Okay. Okay, Baltimore at Baltimore.
Thursday night game
Thursday
at
night
Baltimore.
game, short week. I'm gonna give us a loss on that one. I feel like it's really hard to sweep the division.
Well, that and I feel like playing away on Thursday night's a significant disadvantage to me.
Right. Plus Pittsburgh's coming up. I I don't know. Like I know a lot of people are like, I feel like our division's so tough because every team I think about is like I think they have a potential to make the playoffs. I do feel like the Bengals are the best out of our division, but I feel like
Yeah.
Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland are all around the same level. Like,
Yeah, I'm not as high on Pittsburgh as everybody else. Um,
yeah, but it's
and
just their defense that always gives us
I
a
don't think
problem.
Cleveland's very good either.
Well, Cleveland has a good team on paper. They just never like it never really translate, you know. But it's like this could be the year, right?
Yeah,
Um,
well, I mean, yeah, I'm wrong a lot, but I don't think Pittsburgh or Cleveland are playoff teams. I think the Bengals and Baltimore will be first and second in the division.
but I this one's gonna be special, the Pittsburgh game, because we're gonna be there. Breaker
Yeah.
Bros. And I feel like our record together is 1-1. But me traveling to go to a game with you, we're 1-0. So I feel like we're going to keep up that momentum and we're going to win that Pittsburgh game.
Okay.
Especially after a loss at Baltimore. I feel like they're going to want to come out.
Well, yeah, and they get like the mini bye, right?
Yeah.
So disadvantage this week, advantage for the week 12 game.
Jacksonville is like another
Monday night.
Yeah, up and coming team. It's away. I feel like the first time we played them, they were up and we kind of like stole the victory, and I feel like they're going to want to try to get one back on us. Because again, it goes back to that head-to-head thing with Burrow and Jacksonville's quarterback. I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
What's his name?
No, mine's Clavin. Michael.
I think you're thinking
Trevor
Lawrence.
Yes,
Wow,
sorry.
is that your real name?
The funny part is I drafted him on my fantasy football league, but I still feel pretty confident that we're going to beat the Jacksonville team because I like their play calling, I like their head coach, but I just think overall we're just going to be a very smothering team, and you're going to have to be on point.
Didn't they lose in the playoffs to Kansas City's backup?
In the playoffs?
Yeah.
What do you mean Kansas City's backup?
Mahomes got hurt
for like a play, but I don't think he ever really like sat out.
I thought he missed he missed a half or something.
No. I could be wrong, but it didn't seem like he missed any time. Okay, so Indiana or the Colts. I feel like we should, again, it kind of feels like the Jacksonville team. But I feel pretty confident we're going to beat the Colts.
Okay. So it's another win.
Another win. But I do like their quarterback. I think they're going to be an interesting team. The Colts, but
it'll be interesting for sure. But that, I mean, you know, like the whole running back situation with the Colts.
Yeah. And then same thing with Minnesota. I just feel like Minnesota's kind of on the decline. And then didn't they just get a new head coach, or was that 2 years ago?
Who? Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota. But they do have
no
Justin
clue
Jefferson.
What's going on with them? But they're kind of rebuilding as well, right? They have Justin Jefferson, and they have Kirk Cousins.
That should be a fun match.
You like that?
But
You like that?
they got rid of a lot of players too, right?
Yeah.
So they got rid of
Their running back.
Adam Thielen.
Yep.
They got rid of Cook. I feel like their defense is starting all over.
Oh yeah, they traded their defensive end to Cleveland.
But then I think they re-signed Hawkinson at tight end, but I don't know. Just seems like a bit of a rebuilding year, but
yeah. Okay, well, it just feels like another Jacksonville, Indiana type team, so I give us a win.
Okay. Well, yeah, I feel like I influenced you too much on the earlier picks, but I guess I usually do that, so we should be fine. This should still be our normal level of accuracy with the picks, right?
I feel pretty good about them.
Okay.
Like I said, I feel like this year's a bit different, but we'll see.
Okay.
Pittsburgh. Okay, so I do think we're going to lose to Pittsburgh just because it's Pittsburgh. I feel like we're going to somehow split the games between Pittsburgh and Baltimore. So this is where we're going to take another loss.
Okay.
But next week, week 17, the one that everyone's going to want to watch, especially in week 17. And it's away, so that's going to be interesting. But I think we're going to want it more. So I think we're going to win it. We're going to secure the number 1 seed. And I think that's why we're going to lose week 18s, because we're going to be resting our players.
Okay.
But again, they may not. I don't know how that was going to work, because you essentially give your team 2 weeks off. But I think they'll want that in the playoffs. I don't think that's going to be like a problem.
I think that the way they do the preseason, the coaching staff prefers rest. So.
Yeah, especially after a long season, and it's brutal. But I feel like if it.
I mean, that's what they did. I mean, they've rested starters against Cleveland before, right? Like, this has happened very recently. Was it this season or last season where they rested all their players against Cleveland?
They did. There was that last season.
Yeah.
They rested him, but they still trying to win. And
Well,
it felt like we played well.
They try to win as much as you can be trying to win when you don't have Joe Burrow playing.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, doing the math.
This should be 14-3, right?
14-3. Okay.
Which is crazy, because did we go like 12-4 last year?
Something like that.
Yeah, because we lost our 2 games initially, and then after that we only lost. We went basically 10-2. So like, or no, we won 12 games and lost 2. We went 12-2 to finish the season last year.
Okay.
The only thing maybe I might have gotten wrong is that San Francisco. Like, that's the one where I feel weird about. But just, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you say that, but then you do have the bye week before it, so you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, with everything, it all depends on how the season's going. San Francisco's like a weird team to project right now, because you don't really know who their quarterback's going to be. Because, like, I mean, it's supposed to be Purdy, but you don't know how healthy he is. And also, you don't know if that was kind of a fluke that he was good, right?
Well, there's just like this belief that like you could put any quarterback out there that as long as they can throw decently, especially in Shanahan's offense, that they'll be successful.
Do you think Shanahan picks bad quarterbacks on purpose just to prove how smart he is?
No. I think
I do.
no. That doesn't make any sense.
I think so. I think
then why would you pay Garoppolo all that money then if you want to make?
They didn't pay him that much money.
Well, they had to get rid of him because they have to pay everyone else money. I think that's part of the reason why they're going with Purdy, is that he's still on a very cheap rookie deal.
No, I think they got rid of Garoppolo because they wanted to get rid of him last year. And then it was just like one of those things where
but if he's actually healthy and he performs, they would love for him to pay a quarterback that much. But since he didn't do either, so he's not worth keeping, especially with the roster that they have and the amount of money that they're paying everyone else. Because I saw the thing where like they just paid Bosa, he's the highest paid defensive end, and they have a whole other like handful of players that are either like top 3, top 5 paid. So like it's a very expensive team, like especially on the defense, I think, for their starters. So it's like, I like that. It's an interesting like test because it's like,
does any team in the NFL spend less money on quarterback than the 49ers right now?
Probably not. I feel like they probably have to be the cheapest. Maybe the Colts.
No, because they've got a first-round pick at quarterback.
Yeah, first-round picks at quarterbacks is kind of expensive, but I mean,
more expensive than a 7th-round pick.
Yeah, because
quarterback.
Purdy's only getting $900,000 a year. But if you look at the rest of the roster, they kind of have to do that because, like, look at how much people are paying.
Well, no, they choose to do it that way. They don't.
That's what I'm saying. This is an interesting test. It's like, do you
saying,
pay everyone else and go cheap at quarterback, and then, or do you?
There's a little bit of ego involved. I mean, let me rephrase that. I'm not going to ask you. I'm going to say it. I think there's a little bit of ego involved.
From Shanahan?
Yeah.
I mean, I
can win with anybody at quarterback. Doesn't matter.
I don't think that's the case because they traded all that capital to get Trey Lance. Like they did that because they believed in him and they thought he could be the next dimension for their.
We're having a Trey Lance.
It didn't work out. Same thing with Garoppolo.
traded him.
I think the problem is maybe they just suck at scouting for the people that they need. I'm not saying Trey Lance is like, because he could potentially turn it around down the road, but in terms of them picking their own players to be that person at quarterback, they suck at that. I don't think you purposely pick average people because you want to show off how good you are, because that's how people get fired. Like you need like an above average quarterback to even be decent in the league. But ultimately, you want an elite player at quarterback, because that's probably going to guarantee you, or more likely to guarantee you, a Super Bowl. Like I think that's been proven like the last 10 years, maybe even 20 years. I mean, look at all the quarterbacks that won.
I'm not asking you about reality. I'm just saying, like, it just looks like they're trying to get the worst possible quarterbacks they can find.
But you're saying that's
to
based off
prove
his
that-
ego, like he wants to prove that he can do it that way. I don't think that's the case. I just think they've struck out. Like I think
Well,
they're
no, I'm not-
trying,
I'm
but
not-
they're just not
I
doing a
think
good
he
job of
thinks
finding the right
he's
people.
I think he's like a chef that thinks he's so good that he could be cooking with like fake meat, and be like, they won't notice because I'm gonna season it up perfect. It's gonna taste so good, People don't know it's just like black beans and spam and sawdust, right? They're gonna think it's a steak.
Oh no, I gotta get rid of this troll. Hold on.
Oh, you're being trolled?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, I got it. Hey, but the stream finally connected. We're good. That means my upload speed is back.
Nice.
I feel like we should just talk for
You
another
like
hour.
that? You
But
like
actually,
that?
since we're done with
that
the since we're done with the season prediction, 14-3,
Yes.
I feel pretty confident with it. What do you think's going on with the Joe Burrow contract?
I think that's done. They're just waiting to sign it.
I don't. I think they're going to wait until next year to sign it. The more I think about it, because it would have been done already. There's no point of waiting, right? If he wants to be the highest paid quarterback, then the deal is done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I think.
Then, but why wait until the day before? Like, there's no difference
I don't
between.
know.
That's what I'm saying. There's no difference between the three. This should have been done the day after that Herbert signed, right? Because between that day and now, there's no difference.
I
It's the
just
same
think that
offer.
there's probably some like real financial thing.
That's what I'm
that-
saying. I think he might be
that's the
doing a solid
Bengals.
for the Brown family. Think about all the money that they spent
Well,
this year.
No. I just think that there must be some kind of thing where it's better for them cash flow or money wise.
Yeah,
to wait until
I think
a
that's
certain
the
date.
agreement between both of them. He might be doing them a favor. Instead of them pressured to put all that upfront money just on him, they spent on Orlando Brown. They spent it on resigning some of our key players. Like, they spent a lot of money this offseason. And it
Mhm.
could also, like, maybe it's like a gesture too, It's like he's also waiting to resign with T. Higgins, which might also
Well,
have to
the
be in the
other reason I
offseason.
say that is because I think it would be unbelievably stupid for the Bengals not to sign him.
It's not the Bengals thing. They already said they'd be willing to give him whatever he wants, but it's also a matter of like, okay, well, but I think he's also smart enough
No,
to.
I mean this season. Like you want to get it done now, right? Because you give you
Right.
a better chance to manipulate the cap. If you wait until next season, then it all happens at once, right?
Yeah, but if you also wait, then it's more likely that you can resign T. Higgins too.
I don't know if that's true.
Well, I don't know. It's hard for me
I
to
don't
say
think that
because
they have any issues signing those guys.
you know what? You're probably right. The only reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is that, like, obviously, I think they want to resign T. Higgins and Burrow and of course Chase next year. But it's like
I mean,
that's
I think the reason why I say that is because when we were looking at Jalen Hurts and Herbert's contract, it's like actually when you sign them, it frees up immediate cap space because because it counts as like an extension.
right. But you
Right.
still have to have that money because they essentially what you're doing is that you're paying the bonus money up front. So you
Yeah.
still have to physically give them $100 million. Like that's basically what
Yeah.
you're doing. You're giving them $100 million, and that basically takes care of them for the next 3 to 4 years. And then
Yeah,
at that
but you
point,
don't have to structure it that way, right? You can have those other
you don't have to
bonuses.
structure it that way, but you still have to have that cash in hand to give it to
No,
them.
no,
You know what I'm
no, no,
saying?
no, no. You don't have to. You can do like the staggered bonus, right? Where you
Yeah,
just
but
say,
that
okay,
stagger bonus still allows the team to give them the money up front. It's just like an order. It's like
no,
to
no,
me,
they don't give it to them up front. It's just guaranteed, but it doesn't become guaranteed until a certain point in the contract. So like they get the money, but then it gets prorated out after.
yeah,
So
the
it's
way
sort
I
of like
understood it is
guaranteed.
that it's prorated in the different years, but that bonus is paid up front.
No, it's not paid up front.
I feel like it is. I feel like that's you're saying that they get that bonus if they qualify for that year. So it
Yeah.
no, but it's guaranteed. So they get that bonus regardless. It's just like
Well, but it's like a loophole because it's like technically not guaranteed until you hit that year. But
no, it is
but
guaranteed. It's just paid out that year.
right. Yeah, but because it's guaranteed but not paid until 2025, say, it doesn't count. You don't have to pay it until 2025, and then you can only prorate it from 2025 on. So you can do all kinds of things to manipulate the up and down of the salary cap. But like that big bonus, it makes sense to have it prorated as long as possible, right? And then because it counts as an extension, right? Basically what you do is you give Burrow like a stack of cash today, right? And then you prorate that over the term of the contract, and then it counts as an extension, but then the year 5, like the actual cap hit is like extremely low. It's just like the way they restructure them. It's like the immediate cap hit is actually low because because so much bonus money is being paid out. You can make the cap hits wherever you want them to be, right? So for like guys like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Burrow who are going to get huge signing bonuses, it's like I don't think it's like a cap issue for those guys. It'd be a cap issue for like, like somebody making like 10 million a year because like you're not going to give them like that
Well,
much upfront money in a $30 million contract. You're not going to give like 25 million guaranteed. You're going to be like lower. So it's like,
I'm not sure if you saw the press conference today, but I mean, he did say he wants to be a Bengal for the rest of his career. I mean, he said all the right things, and I don't know. It will make more sense once we see the contract. And
yeah, I just think it's done and they're picking a certain day to do it. I think it would be dumb not to have it done by Sunday, but that's just my opinion.
but why would you wait between now and Sunday?
I don't know.
It has to be like you're right. If they're specifically waiting
Maybe
for
there's
a
some
date,
weird
it's
TV. Maybe it's like the timing of the payment of the TV money. I don't know, but I think
that's
there's
what I'm
like
saying. It could be like a
a cash
mid-season
flow
thing than
issue.
if it's based off of what you're saying because it's more tied to cash flow.
No, no, no. What I'm saying is, I think that there's like because it's different because he hasn't played yet in a game, right? So I just think that Friday might be better than today. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
For
I hope.
some
I don't know.
detailed, vague reason.
Fair enough. Well, is there anything you want to add or
What?
anything you want to like?
You're going all max headroom on me.
What's that?
So you're going max headroom.
What's that mean?
You're glitching. You're glitching.
Oh, I'm glitching.
You're on my side. Hey, I was gonna ask you, is there a way for you to play like a song on the stream?
A song? No.
Okay. I'd like to figure out a way for us to add like a "we're done" kind of song.
I gotcha. Well, we'll have to work on that.
Yeah, gotta be a way to do it, right?
I'm sure there
You
is.
have a mixer. You have a mixer, right?
like for me to play something, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah,